Hey there, IT 140 students. Welcome to our class. My name is Matt Parker, and I'll be your instructor this term. If you are new to Southern New Hampshire University, I want to welcome you to our school. If you're new to the IT or computer science programs, I want to welcome you to those as well. Hopefully, you're familiar with Brightspace at this point. If you're not, just real quick, you will be accessing all of your course materials through Brightspace. Underneath the course menu, you'll see announcements. I will always have an announcement posted every Monday, and then you'll also always have one on Thursdays as well. There's also other announcements that will get posted in there as the course goes through on. So you definitely want to make sure that you're checking out the announcements and subscribing to get those as we go through. Learning modules will have all the details for your assignments and so forth, submission links and so forth, link to discussions, and then there should be a link to your grades as well. What I want to go through in this first recording is if we go to the announcements, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and I do have my instructor announcement posted in here. This should have been available to you as soon as the class opened up. But up here at the top, so my formal name is Matthew, but nobody calls me that, so I go by Matt. I will sign everything with you as MP, so feel free to just address me as MP. Most people just call me Parker. Email address is there. I do utilize Skype. I know that Southern New Hampshire made Zoom, or excuse me, Microsoft Teams available to us, but I was not able to get it to work the last time it was supposed to be available, so I just utilize Skype. I've got my LinkedIn and GitHub and Bitbucket accounts. If you ever want to kind of check out things that I've been doing on the side, you can go ahead and do that. I am on Eastern Daylight Time, and I am available weekdays after 5 p.m. and then weekends almost anytime. Don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I've got the email up and running during the day, and when I get a chance at lunch, I typically get responses back to you. So don't think that you're going to have to wait to get a response. You'll get something back pretty quickly. Real quick, so how did I get here? So my journey to computer science has been a little bit untraditional. In my first career, I was a high school math teacher, and I decided to learn computer science initially to teach it at the high school level. But about 9 years ago, I decided to jump to the university level, and I taught computer science full time for Purdue University in Fort Wayne, Indiana. In 2018, I decided to completely change careers and become a software engineer. So, I hope to bring some special insight to your learning as I am actively working in industry. I currently work as a software developer with a company called Booz Allen Hamilton. We are a large conglomerate company that deals primarily with civil government work. We have some defense work, some other things, but primarily we do civil government work. I work in a project that is revitalizing a Veterans Administration, the VA, a VA system. So I'm really excited that I get to help veterans. I get to do good work for good people. Previously, I did work at Raytheon Technologies, a defense contractor. You can see some of the different projects I worked on. I've kind of been a jack of all trades throughout my time as a university teacher as well as a software engineer. I work in multiple languages, multiple frameworks, and do lots of different things. On the side, I like to create software for distance runners under the name EasyVO2 Training. I've got an Android app, a website, and some other things that kind of support it that I've been working on throughout the years. I do have a BS in math education. Again, I was a high school teacher originally, so I did that from Indiana State University, so that is my alma mater. I do have a master's degree in education from my first go around in my career, and then I have a second master's degree in information assurance management, primarily focused on information security, but I don't do any of that kind of stuff now. So, about our course, you'll be using PyCharm to write Python programming statements. Um, you're going to learn how to create data types, variables, write decisions, loops, functions, some file handling. Basically, at the end of this class, you should be able to write some Python. Again, I say look in the announcements from my YouTube recordings. I have a recording about setting up the IDE called PyCharm. So make sure that you follow along with that. And then Zybooks provides all of the learning content. as well as opportunities to practice writing code. As far as zyBooks goes, all of the participation activities grade on their own. So when you see participation activities, they auto grade. So when you start it, you do one lesson, it's going to say you've got like 1 out of the 30 points or whatever it is, and you're going to see that it says that you're failing. As you go along, the participation activities auto update their grades. The lab assignments I do grade, so those get graded by me. But the participations, that is all auto updated. I typically post one YouTube recording for each module, so I will go through the course content, and then there will also usually be one that gives some details on the labs, assignments, and projects, and so forth. Make sure that you watch the recordings. I guarantee it, I'm going to provide you information that is going to be very helpful for you to learn Python. You've got questions. I know that computer science students, software engineers are very reluctant to seek help. If you are working on something for more than an hour, so if you've made no progress after an hour, I want you to stop, shoot me an email, and get help. There's no sense in you working on something for hours upon hours when probably I can help you get it solved very quickly. Also, don't forget that Southern New Hampshire does have 24-hour online tutoring available, so there is definitely resources available out there to you. If you have any questions of a personal nature, always make sure you email those to me. Don't put those in the general questions discussion forum. So if it's any OAC modifications or grading, feedback questions, late work, etc., make sure that you put it in an email to only me. And as I say there, I will always get back to you within 24 hours. It'll usually be much, much, much sooner. Again, feel comfortable addressing me as Matt or MP rather than Professor Parker or some other informal greeting. I don't have a doctorate, so definitely do not refer to me as Dr. Parker. In your introductory post, if you go by something different, please put that in your introductory post. So we start our class at the beginning of May. So make sure that you log in, get familiar with the syllabus, announcements, all the things. You do have an initial introduction post, so make sure you get that handled at the very beginning for full credit. And I definitely look forward to meeting you all, helping you succeed in our course. I have a passion for teaching. I have a passion for getting new programmers started onto potentially a new career. Oh, by the way, outside of work and teaching, I do consider myself a normal person. I am an avid runner, cyclist, and a golfer. I've met 2 of my bucket list goals. So I ran the Boston Marathon a long, long time ago. I broke 80 on a regulation golf course last summer. That was awesome. But I've yet to cycle 100 miles. And I keep saying that maybe this will be the year. The way that the spring has been in Indiana, I've been out on my bike once. So I'm hoping that maybe this summer I can get some riding in. Lastly, I do have 3 great kids. They are 19, 18, 11. My oldest runs cross country and track. My 18-year-old is a power lifter, and then my 11-year-old is a soccer player. So I am always busy going to all sorts of activities. Okay, so that's a little bit about me and the course. Let's take a look at some more announcements that I have in here. So first thing is I do have an announcement for code guidelines. So if you've never written any code, this is probably not going to make any sense to you to start with. But as you get going, these are going to be the rules that you will have to adhere to for the industry standard criteria on our class rubrics. So if it is something on zyBooks, whatever zyBooks makes you do, you have to follow, okay? But if it's something that you are submitting to me that I am grading, then these rules will be in play. So make sure that you understand these, and if you have questions, make sure you get those asked and answered. Next one, this is a big one. Do not cheat on your submitted assignments. I will catch you. One, you're here to learn. 2, if you want to get a job down the road, if you just cheat and try to get yourself through school that way, you're not going to learn what you need to learn. You will not be able to get a job. I can guarantee it. I know in interviews that I've conducted, I can figure out when somebody knows what they're talking about and when somebody doesn't. So, what does that mean? If you find any code, partial or in its entirety, on Chegg, Course Hero, GitHub, Discord, I know that there's a Discord channel for our class. Don't even bother going in those places, because you potentially are going to find things that you submit that are other people's work. That's a violation of Southern New Hampshire's academic integrity policy. If we have any writing assignments, make sure you provide in-text citations and the references. I want to get back to the code though. For coding projects, I'm going to provide you a template that you can follow. While you're free to implement your own solution, follow my template. I guarantee it that it will be of great value. It will help you solve the problem, and you won't have to go to these other resources and try to submit things that other people have submitted. I've taught the class enough. I know when people are submitting stuff that they find on these other websites. So, to wrap it up here, you're only hurting your own education, so don't do that. Um, if you find yourself struggling to complete something, keep in mind you can still turn it in with a week for a 10% late penalty. I would much rather see you get successfully completion of 90% of the points rather than to be scored with a 0 and have an academic integrity violation. So, long story short, don't cheat. Reach out to me. I guarantee it. I will provide you the help that you need. Okay, so off my soapbox, here is an example of the announcements that you're going to see. So this is going to be posted on Mondays of each week. We'll kind of see a rehash of what we've done, what you're going to be learning potentially, and then you'll see that I have links to my YouTube recordings right here. I only put links to my YouTube recordings. There might be a recording or two about flowcharts, things that are very, very general, but things that are specific to zyBooks, my expectations, there will be recordings. So make sure that you budget time in your schedule to watch my recordings. So you can already see that I've got some of them already posted here. There will be one for the Chapter 1 lab. They've changed the curriculum since the last term that I taught this, so I haven't had a chance to kind of go over and provide some details on these labs. I will get that posted as soon as I can. I'll always include the schedule. And then last thing that I also host is I host virtual sessions on Wednesday nights and then on Sunday mornings. So the idea here is if you have questions that you need to get asked, then by all means, come to a virtual session. It's on Skype. Download and install Skype for your machine because then we can do screen shares and we can get questions asked and answered. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to a great term. I want to see you successful and maybe eventually someday become a software developer. All right. I'll talk to you next time.